Over the years, you may have noticed there are more nominees for the Best Picture Oscar than any other category. Very briefly, I'm going to explain my theory as to why. See, in the 20s and 30s when the Academy Awards first was a thing, the number of nominees wavered. The first one ever only had 3, the 30s and even early 40s had between 5 and 10, but starting in 1944 it was reduced to 5. And that way it stayed for several decades. Then 2008 happened. The nominees were Slumdog Millionaire, Frost Nixon, Milk, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and The Reader. Slumdog was predicted to win, and The Reader, in my opinion, should have been relocated to the Razzies. It was horribly paced, bizarrely written, and made fun of stories that have emotional climaxes while half-heartedly trying to offer one itself. I'll summarize by saying it was a giant piece of crap that only got nominated because its second half tiptoed around the Holocaust. The way it did was incredibly offensive to Jews anyway, but whatever. What you may have noticed is the absence of The Dark Knight and Wall-E, neither of which were nominated despite critical acclaim across the board. This drew accusations of genre exclusion, with The Dark Knight in particular igniting everyone's frustration. As a film history buff, I'll state that the Academy usually gets it right. And no, Leo was not snubbed all of those years. The only time he should have won and didn't was for What's Eating Gilbert Grape and maybe Django Unchained. The other years he did a fine job, but was up against better performances. Did you see The Last King of Scotland? My point is that occasionally the Academy does make mistakes. Crash winning Best Picture, Julia Roberts winning Best Actress, Al Pacino, and as for Shakespeare in Love beating Saving Private Ryan, I'll let Harrison Ford take the reins.
Shakespeare in Love. David Carpet, Donna Gelati.
Aww. So rather than admitting their fuck up or just bucking up the following year, they decided to make everyone happy and increase the number of nominees. Purely in terms of number, it's now the easiest category, and it's for the biggest trophy of the night. This is how films like The Blind Side and War Horse get nominated for Best Picture. One of the main arguments for expanding the field is that more types of movies can be recognized. But it's not like big action films or comedies or even horror films are getting nominated even with the new setup. Here's why. 1. A lot of these movies are good, but they're not great. This isn't, or at least shouldn't, be based on how much money you made or how safe you played it. Fury Road was an action flick, and I believe it would still get a nod with a 5-movie cut, because it worked its ass off.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Simply put, a tight race means better runners. And reason number 2, I think there is a little bit of genre exclusion going on with the Academy, especially against really great horror films. But again, this current setup doesn't appear to be the solution. This was a brash and misguided decision, and I hope that the Academy will eventually return it to 5 nominees. The Oscar itself is a gold statue. Keep it competitive. And if there were ever a mantra we need now more than ever in the entertainment business, it's quality over quantity. That about wraps up my thoughts on this issue, but I plan on doing a montage video soon about which films would make the 5-movie cut, from 2009 to today. Let me know in the comments what you think of the current Best Picture rules, and some Oscar snubs and mistakes I didn't mention. Follow me on Twitter for my live Oscar reactions, and of course, thanks for watching, guys.